this be a normal field trip? With a friend? No way!
Cruising on down Main Street, you're relaxed and feeling good. Next thing that you know, you'll see an octopus in the neighborhood. Surfing on a sound wave, swinging through the stars. Take a left at human testing, take your second right past Mars on the magic school bus. Alligator nostril, climb on the magic school bus. Spank a plankton too. On our magic school bus. Drop the river of lava on a magic school bus. Such a fine thing to do. So strap your bones right to the seat. Come on in and don't be shy. Just to make your day complete. You might get baked into a pie on the magic school bus. Step inside, it's a wilder ride. Come on, ride on the magic school bus.
It should be easy to get some rain for my project. All I have to do is plan a picnic, and then I know it will rain. But how do I show rain indoors?
And Asia are in the tropics. So are lots of islands in the Pacific. The tropics are always warm and they only have two seasons, the rainy season and the dry season. A tropical rainforest is a rainforest that occurs in the tropics. So where are the tropics? They're the part of the world that is close to the equator. Rainforests can also occur where it's cool and wet, like the northwestern U.S. But they're different than the tropical forests we're studying. The rainforest is home to many different kinds of reptiles and amphibians, like my frog Bella here.
Even though rainforests on the continent of Africa all differ from one another, African rainforests are typically shorter than rainforests in the rest of the world. They also aren't as dense. This makes it easier for elephants who happen to be passing through.
There are thousands of different kinds of butterflies in the rainforest. That's one of the reasons why rainforests are so wonderful. In Hawaii, rainforests grow on the sides of many of the state's volcanoes. Because Hawaii is alone in the middle of the Pacific, many unique creatures evolved there, like the crested honey creeper, which drinks nectar from the ohia lehua tree. Legend says that ohia and lehua were tragic lovers who are together forever in the form of this tree. The largest rainforests left on Earth are in Central and South America. The Amazonia rainforest of Brazil is home to spectacular creatures like the pink river dolphin and the giant armadillo. Amazonia is truly amazing. Caterpillars are really just baby butterflies. Scientists call this part of the butterfly's life the larval stage. You would think that a slow-moving caterpillar would want to hide from predators. But caterpillars like this one are brightly colored to tell birds, because they taste yucky. When they're ready, caterpillars make a shell for themselves called a chrysalis. Inside the chrysalis, they change, and a few weeks later, they pop out as butterflies. That's one terrific transformation. Finding a butterfly takes a lot longer than this. But isn't it beautiful how things can change? Bye-bye, butterfly.
The tropics are a great environment for animals. Plenty of food, no winters, and a wide variety of plants. No wonder there are so many animals in the rainforest.
Oh no! The right-of-way rainforest toolbox I bought is incomplete. What will we do?
An empty toolbox? A rainforest in disarray? If you want to help my students turn the classroom into a rainforest, you'll need to go on a field trip and find what's missing from these compartments. Then use the biocloning tool to make copies for the kit. For some creatures, hanging out means hiding out, and the best thing is to see but not be seen. Look around the rainforest and see if you can find a leaf that's not quite a leaf. Maybe my friend Katie didn't get named after this bug. Or maybe she did. Seek this rainforest insect in the part of the understory where mimicry and camouflage are a way of life.
This monitor shows how our classroom can change with each bioclone we find. I can't wait till we find them all. Then our classroom will look great. But it doesn't look like anything's happened. We probably need to find more of the missing items from the toolbox. Unlike temperate parts of the world, which have spring, summer, fall, and winter, the rainforests only have 2 seasons, rainy and not so rainy. The rainforests are colorful, but you won't find the leaves changing color the way they do in other places. That's because the rainforest has no fall. Rainy season is during winter and spring. Dry season is during summer and fall. But in a lot of rainforests, it never really gets dry, even in the dry season. Unlike temperate parts of the world, which have spring, summer, fall, and winter, the rainforest only... I don't understand why Tim wants to put the animals in different places in the rainforest. I thought that every animal could be found anywhere in the rainforest.
Parts of the rainforest die and then rebuild themselves all the time. I don't get it. How can something die and then fix itself back up? Rainforests need water, and lots of it. It rains just about every day in a rainforest. Rainforests help recycle carbon dioxide into the oxygen that everybody needs to breathe. And by reducing the amount of carbon dioxide in the air, they help prevent global warming.
Animals are great at adapting to the environment they live in. But I can't make my paper Katie did camouflage itself as well as the real thing.
birds in the rainforest are colorful, beautiful, and diverse. But I wonder why their wings sometimes look so short. Asian rainforests range from the west coast of India to Indonesia, the Philippines, New Guinea, and some of the tropical islands of the Pacific. Here, animals like orangutans and macaques live among the tall trees that look like giant lollipop orchards.
There are rainforests in the northwestern USA, which are wet and cool, but not cold. Unlike rainforests in the rest of the world, these rainforests don't have lots of different species. But they do have some neat animals that are all their own, like banana slugs, rubber boas, and elk.
There are some funny fish in the... Does anyone else think there's something fishy going on here?
Carlos?
Nice draw you got there, partner, but it's time to saddle up and head back to the rainforest.
These insects are really bugging me. My beetles look like bees, and my katydid looks like a leaf, and my butterflies are bright blue because I ran out of orange paper. Everyone knows insects don't look like that. Insects are so tiny. How can they dominate the forest? Jaguars are the big meat eaters. Don't they rule? Ants might not look majestic, but they're the real kings and queens of the rainforest. They live throughout the ecosystem and affect it in many ways.
Ready, class? Let's blast off to the Costa Rican rainforest. But our first stop is the Division of Driver's Licenses. Before you can drive the bus, you have to get your license. Click the controls on the right side until you get the face looking just the way you want it. Then give yourself a name and an age. Click the snake exit when you're ready to roll. Bing! Woo! Zippa! Look at you. Welcome to Ms. Frizzle's Drive the Bus Through the Drizzle guided tour of the dashboard. Anytime you want to travel, just turn the steering wheel to choose a new place. The buttons to the right of the steering wheel will push down to show you where you're pointing the bus. When you push down on the place you want to go, click the steering wheel and we're off. If outside exploration is part of your plan, click the little doors on the right and out we go wherever we are. Click the Rainforest toolbox to see what tropical trinkets you need to find. Click the sound button to turn the sound on or off. Click the knapsack to see a map of the rainforest we're visiting. If you want to know about the other things on the bus, click the question mark, and I'll be right back.
This is where you'll keep the pictures from all the places you visit. On blank pages next to the pictures, you can write whatever you want. You've learned so much about rainforests, why not make one for yourself? Just take a leaf, dip it in the pigment, and start painting.
Click the jaguar to scare the paint right off your canvas.
Any old time you want to create is great by me. Bye!
If a new look is what you're after, this is the place to change your face.
Pioneer trees grow where no trees have gone before, taking over newly opened sunny spaces in the tree gaps. To thrive here, they have to grow fast. Like the cecropia tree that reaches the sky quickly by putting up hollow stems instead of thick, sturdy ones. But competition is fierce, and eventually these trees are edged out of the sunny spots by tougher and taller rivals. Understory palms know that patience pays off. They survive for years on tiny amounts of sunlight until a nearby tree falls. Then they grow as much as they can before other trees shade them in again. The walking palm is especially good at finding light. It grows along the ground until it finds a sunlit spot. It's walking towards the light, so to speak. Canopy trees are both the support columns and the roof of the rainforest. Their leaves keep the rainforest warm and wind-free. Their mighty trunks and branches support the vines and bromeliads that are home to everything from monkeys to frogs. But the trees are also greedy and absorb almost all of the sunlight, leaving very little for the plants below.
If you are a member of the orchid family, you'd have more relatives than any other plant in the world. There are more than 25,000 different types of orchids. Some have spectacular big flowers, and some have very tiny blossoms. Orchids use clever tricks to get pollinated. Some flowers look like female bees so that the male bees are attracted to them. Other orchids produce smells that euglossine bees find irresistible. Check this out. Many of the most beautiful flowering plants of the rainforest can live in people's houses. The visitors from the rainforest that do best indoors are the understory plants. That's because they're used to growing without a lot of sunlight. The way I see it, home is wherever your roots are. Do you have any wild relatives that live in the rainforest? Pineapples do, and they're called bromeliads. Bromeliads live on trees. holding onto the branches with their roots. On top of each bromeliad is a tight ring of leaves that catches enough rainwater to make a little pond. Dozens of small animals and plants can live in this pond. The waste from these creatures gives the bromeliad all the food it needs. Sounds perfect? The only problem is that too many bromeliads in the branches can tip over a tall tree.
In the tropics, insects rule, and insect numero uno is the ant. Rainforest ants do all sorts of incredible things, like cleaning up the leaf litter and planting seeds. Army ants run raiding parties for food and make houses out of their own bodies. Leafcutter ants farm fungi on leaves they collect from the forest. Some ants even protect the plants and animals that give them food and nectar. Yup, ants are amazing and abundant. You've heard of the age of dinosaurs? Well, some scientists say we're living in the age of the insects. And no insects are more bountiful than the beetle. One biologist estimated that 18,000 species occurred in just a couple of acres of rainforest in Panama. Are beetles diverse? Definitely. They can be small, sparkling gems like tortoise beetles, or tough tanks like rhinoceros beetles. Some beetles fly by day, others fly by night. Some night beetles, like the fireflies, make their own light. Others, like the click beetle, absorb light all day and then glow in the dark all night. Roaches don't just live in your kitchen and in roach motels. In the rainforest, roaches live just about everywhere. Many species actually live in families, where the parents provide food and protection for their young. Not all of them look like the roaches you step on. Some roaches are quite handsome and can be cream-colored, deep dark brown, or even blue. Blue? I could decorate my locker with them. Wait, what am I thinking?
The king of the Costa Rican rainforest sky is the spectacular harpy eagle, a giant bird that stands up to 3.5 feet tall. The harpy builds its nest with sticks high in the treetops of the tallest trees. These huge hunters zip through the branches, picking off sloths and unsuspecting monkeys. Harpy eagles need lots of land to live and hunt on. As more of the rainforest is being used by people, harpy eagles are becoming rare. In some places, they're even extinct. Have wings, will travel is the motto of many rainforest birds. They have the best of both worlds, spending the winter in the warm tropical rainforest and the summer further north in cooler places like the United States and Canada. The robin, which brings this first sign of spring to New York, may have come all the way from Central America, a 1,000-mile trip. If you spend any time in the rainforest, you'll probably hear the barking croak of the toucan. Look up and you'll see the toucan sitting in a fruit tree, snipping off hard-to-reach fruit with its long, bright bill. Those bills look heavy, but they're actually very light. Toucans' bills are hollow and crisscrossed by thin supporting rods. Toucans also eat lizards, snakes, eggs, and the chicks of other species. Toucans are a tough bunch and will quickly bully other birds away from food and even out of their homes.
Lizards of all colors and sizes scuttle and scurry around the rainforest. There are little brown anolis lizards and flashy blue-tailed amoeba lizards. Most lizards are insect eaters, but not iguanas. These big, green, dinosaur-looking lizards sit in the treetops and eat leaves all day. They can easily grow up to 6 feet long. Iguanas are hunted by jaguars, who wait for the giant lizards to come out of the treetops to lay their eggs in underground burrows. Frogs and toads come in so many shapes, sizes, and colors that they could be called the rainbows of the rainforest. But frogs and toads everywhere seem to be mysteriously disappearing. One example is the golden toad of the Monteverde cloud forest in Costa Rica. This spectacular orange-gold toad, which used to be found everywhere in its wildlife preserve, has not been seen for years. The golden toad has become a symbol of the mysteriously disappearing amphibians. The rainforest is full of slithering snakes, but many are hard to see because they blend in so well with their environment. The fer-de-lance viper and the boa constrictor blend into the surrounding leaf litter, which makes it easy for them to sneak up on their prey. The giant boa constrictor will wrap its coils around a victim and squeeze it to death. Some of the world's most beautiful wild cats, like ocelots, pumas, jaguars, and jaguarundi, live in tropical rainforests. Some of them, like pumas, live as far north as the western USA. When you see a big cat, never ever run away from it. It might chase you just for the fun of it, and 300 pounds of jaguar muscle will win every time. According to my research, the best strategy is to face the wild cat and shout or clap, walking slowly towards it. Rainforests make life pretty easy for monkeys. The climate is warm, there's food all year round, and best of all, the monkeys can spend all their time in the trees, far away from the predators that live on the ground. Like humans, monkeys tend to be very social and travel in large family groups. Babies travel on the adults' backs as they swing and jump through the trees looking for food. The monkeys that live in this part of the world are well adapted for tree travel. Some of them have long, curling tails that they use like a fifth hand. I guess you could say that their tails are very handy. When it gets dark in the rainforest and you hear wings flapping and see dark silhouettes against the night sky, you know that the bats are out and about. In the tropics, bats are as common as field mice are in North America. Most bats eat fruit and insects, but vampire bats eat other mammals and small rodents. According to my research, there is even a fishing bulldog bat, which uses its big feet to catch fish near the surface of the water. Look around and you'll notice that animals are always scratching and cleaning themselves. That's because just about every animal has parasites that try to drink its blood or lay their eggs on the animal. When monkeys sit around preening each other, it's not just a social activity. It's a matter of good health. Ticks, fleas, and flies are just some of the parasites that attack larger animals every day. No wonder the scratching and cleaning goes on forever. Even plants can be parasites. Mistletoe is a plant parasite that lives on top of other plants and takes nutrients out of them, often killing them in the process. Warm-blooded creatures like jaguars and monkeys aren't the only targets for parasites. Insects make tempting targets for insect parasites, like wasps. Tiny wasps lay their eggs inside caterpillars and other insects. The young wasps hatch and eat their victims alive from the inside out, and then they emerge from the sides of their victims. Bad, oh bad, oh bad! For the caterpillar, that is.
Weather is very important to a rainforest. A rainforest needs lots of rain. More than 6 feet of rain a year, to be exact. But it also needs lots of sunlight to keep the temperature just about 82 degrees all year round. The wind plays a part, too. Down in the understory, you might not feel the wind. But up in the canopy, the winds can blow hard enough to knock down the older trees. Oh, this isn't bad, because it helps create the tree gaps that the forest uses to renew itself. Just like an ocean, a rainforest has many different layers of life. There are animals that only live near the ground, like tapirs, and animals who only live in the trees, like sloths. Every animal in the rainforest lives in the area that's best for it. A sloth's long arms and legs are great for hanging around in trees, but they're not much use on the ground. A tapir's hooves make it impossible for him to climb a tree, but down on the ground's a great place for him to scavenge for food. Animals and plants cooperate, but not the same way that we do. For example, a bee pollinates a flower and gets nectar in return. But the plant and the bee never made a deal about this. A bee going after nectar rubs against a stalk of pollen, not because the bee wants to take care of the plant, but because the plant put the stalk between the nectar and the bee. By using each other like this, animals and plants around the world have formed a balance that has survived for billions of years.
Not only are rainforests beautiful, they are also beneficial to humanity. 1/4 of the world's drugs come from plants, and most plant species live in the rainforest. Scientists think that they will find many more cures for diseases by exploring the plant and animal life of the rainforests. Right now, the saliva of vampire bats is being used to develop a drug to prevent heart attacks. Did you know that there are 30,000 plants in the world with edible parts? But most of the food that people eat comes from just 20 of those plants. Some famous rainforest foods include pineapple, chocolate, Brazil nuts, heart of palm, bananas, mangoes, and papayas. But there are many others that most people have never tried, like tamarinds, cherimoyas, carambolas, coquitos, lulos, and mamones. You might even be chewing a piece of the rainforest right now. The chewy part of gum comes from the Manocara zapota, a species of the chiclay tree. Chiclay trees are also an important source of timber and latex. At my old school, we learned that many useful building materials and textiles come from the rainforest plants.